I woke up with no history, no memory of my being. Yet my blood courses through the veins of these children I birthed. I imprinted my soul into your speech. Had you listened, you would have heard about yourself. Black child, have you no fear? That if you don't define yourself, they will do it for you. Miraculously turning the waters of Mosia Tunya into Victoria's red, blue, and white falls, they will tell your story in their image. See, I woke up with no identity. Some say that I had amnesia. But how will I know of a past never spoken and a history forgotten? A bastardized culture that only my brothers cling to, as a weapon to beat down the matriarchs we come from with a word that ain't true. Perhaps it was this perfectly concocted blend of religion, miseducation, and half-truths that has caused my ailment. Prettily packaged propaganda preached religiously on perfectly polished pulpits by pretentiously pious prophets have left me with a crooked idea of who I am and where I come from. Cut the cord between myself and the prophecy on which my name was formed, but despite being misinformed in this generation, I see a glimmer of hope. Sons and daughters of the soil transformed, Africa's children are finally returning home. Guided by the drums that gave us rhythm, spirit calls and we respond. And the rising of the sound as our feet raise up dust, we wash off the stain of whiteness and with our true selves reunite. My brothers and sisters, our identity is a foreign invention which we must reconstruct. My name legally is Teresa Matambo, but I am Kuda Kwashe, the Kandake down south. Kuda Kwashe means the love of God or the will of God in my native Shonatan. I am Zimbabwean, born and raised. I also lived a huge part of my life in South Africa and a small part of it in Eswatini. So I was greatly shaped by all the different cultures and intersections of African people and different people from all parts of the world that come together in those three spaces. I would like to think that I have a unique perspective on the African condition because of this experience and exposure that I was given. And I am a poet and a spoken word artist who is trying to bring back the voice of Afrocentrism, to bring back the message of our ancestors, and to spread the greatness of African people. Not for the world to see, but for us as African people to carry ourselves as such. I have been shaped by all the different systems that operate around us. I have faced the different disprivileges that some of us are exposed to. And I want to take all those experiences and speak on behalf of all those people who might not have the voice or the confidence or the platform. Because I believe I have been given a unique voice by my ancestors like all of us have. So I hope my art and what I have to say sparks conversation and moves the progress forward, moves us towards the wisdom of our ancestors, moves us towards learning about ourselves and our history. What I would love to achieve with my poetry is, firstly, for myself, to push myself towards personal action and being the change I want to see in the world. I believe that we are faced with a system that has found different ways of attacking different people, whether it be through racism, sexism, xenophobia, homophobia. All these different things are all things that we're facing due to one system of capitalism. And if we can come together as an African people, starting with individual work, to build communities back in our homes that serve the needs of our people, that serve the needs of those around us, that's the only way to topple the system that's oppressing all of us. That's the only way to counter the inaction of our different governments. So I hope that my poetry will start action within myself and also help me towards inspiring others to take action in their own communities. What does that action look like? It looks like going back to your homesteads and helping them grow their ways of life into more efficient ways of life. If it's farming that you specialize in, make it more efficient to an extent where these people who are in these homes do not need to wait for grants, do not need to wait for UN donations, but are able to sustain themselves, to grow their own crops and feed themselves throughout the year. Our ancestors did it. We can do it too, if we go back and try and learn from the ways that our ancestors followed. They worked together with nature and were able to build and create equitable society where everyone was fed and taken care of, where everyone was regarded with respect and dignity, despite of race, class, sexual identity, whatever it might be. So all these things we're trying to fight, I think personally, can be solved by going back to the ways of our ancestors. And I want to use my poetry to spread that message, to help to trigger in each African person that question and that quest to want and go and understand who you are, where you come from, what it means to be African, what it means to have Ubuntu, Unu, whatever it is you call it in your native African tongue, it is the same thing. The belief that I am because you are. And I want my poetry to spread that message, to bring back Africans to the truth of their ancestors. That's the only way we'll find ourselves in the society we all aim for. That's the only way I believe we'll be able to bring the change we so greatly wish for.